What's going on, y'all? I'm going to be breaking down how I close $400,000 without using any of my own money and the top three tips I learned from that. All right. So, super excited to have everybody locked in here. Please be able to, let your people know, tag your friends. Make sure you guys share this in other groups. Let other people know that, hey, your guy Elijah I is going to be sharing some gems and be giving you guys some insight on deals that we're doing this year, not 5 years ago, but this year, how we get into it, what I learned from it, what you can learn from it, and so how you can close your big six-figure deals too. All right. So in this training, what I'm going to be breaking down, how to close these bigger deals. I'm going to be breaking down the exact process for how I was able to profit over $400,000 on one deal without using any of my own money. So if you are watching this on the replay, if you're watching this live with your guy Elijah I, all I want you to do, put in the comment section JV, just JV in the comment section. If you want to learn how you could do more deals with me, so you and I could JV on partner on certain deals. Obviously, fire damage deals are cool, but I do any type of deal. All right. Like I said, apartment complexes, seller finance deals, land development deals, luxury houses in the hood. It's all good. All right. So, want to lay that, just all you have to do, put in the comment section JV. Myself or somebody on my team will get you some details to exactly how you can collaborate with me and we can start closing more deals for you. Okay. So, that's why I just want to get that out the way right off the bat. All right. Now, for those, all right, for those who aren't aware, welcome to Fire Damage Profits. If you're here because I closed a $400,000 deal, kudos to you. All right, and you want to learn more how you could do it. I'm going to be breaking down some tips so you can apply and you can absolutely start closing bigger deals just by going on these three main points I'm going to break down for you. You can absolutely start closing bigger and better deals yourself. If you're already part of the fire damage family, community, welcome. I'm not going to be talking about fire damage today because this was a fire damage deal, but I am going to be talking about how to close big six-figure plus deals. Okay. I know when I saw it initially, I knew when I saw other people closing big checks, big deals, it inspired me to close those big deals. And so once you see it, you can be it. You know what they say, you conceive it, believe it, achieve it. I'm going to help you guys get to it. All right. So, with that being said, for those who may not know me, your guy Elijah I, just give you a little bit of a quick backdrop on my story. Like I said, I'm 50% Trinidadian. I'm 50% Jewish. I'm 100% entrepreneur. I've been doing real estate. I'm now in my 18th year. All right, started when I was 21. I'll let you do the math. All right, and yeah, I started back in '04. Like I said, I was knocking on doors. I was making phone calls. Did everything a lot of the other people, and a lot of other gurus started off of doing. At the same time, there was no MySpace, there was no Facebook, there was no YouTube, no online community. So I felt really depressed and trying to figure out how to do deals. I had to learn a lot of this on my own. And after doing, after it took me almost a whole year before I closed my first deal. Then after I closed my first deal, at the end of year one, made $10,000 on my first deal. Thought I was gonna take off out of here. Year two, made 60,000. So now start feeling myself, getting the swag together. Year three, make my first six-figure year. So now I'm telling my sisters, my mom, my dad, hey, don't worry about it. I'm gonna get you guys retired. You ain't gonna have to worry about this. I got you, mom and dad. And then '08 came. '08 came, hit. The collapse happened. It really set me back. I was on the fences there for a couple years. Stumbled into doing probate deals. Led me to city violation. That led me to doing the fire damage deal. The fire damage niche got me into a lucrative niche that most people don't know how to do. Started separating myself. At the same time, I was always closing all types of deals, and I was always making phone calls. And over the course of time, I've closed over 800 plus deals. And I don't say that to impress you, but to press upon you. I have a lot of real life experience, and I feel it's my obligation to share some of my journey, some of the lessons I learned to help you get to the bag quicker, help you close more deals more consistently or more confidence. Okay. So it wasn't really until I started getting around other players who were doing bigger deals doing larger spreads, making bigger checks. Wasn't until I started changing my mindset around, hold on a second, I could start doing bigger deals myself. I could start seeing bigger deals. And once I saw that they could capture the check, if they could bake a cake, I could bake a cake. And so I saw what they did. I learned the confidence they moved with. I saw the conversations they were having, and I started duplicating it. And I started getting into the bag, started closing bigger deals myself. So I'm going to give you some solid gems, some solid techniques and tips for what to do, how to do this, so that you feel confident, you feel good about this. All right. So all I want you to do, if you're ready to get started, I want you to put one in the comments. Put one in the comments for your guy. All right. So I see that you're ready to get to it. You're feeling good about it. We can make this happen together as a team. Like I said, I want this to be very interactive. I want us feeling good. And I want you to know that, hey, what you're seeing here, what I'm going to share with you is so simple to do. And so simple even not to do, right? And so it's all about your perspective. It's all about your mind. So if you're ready to get started, put one in the comments for me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. All right. Thank you. Thank you all. Okay. So if there's anything I say or that I mention that you like, Elijah, that's really good. Or, I have a question. I want some more insight on that. Put your questions in the comments. And then at the end, I'm going to make sure I set some time aside to answer any questions you have, any concerns you have, to make sure that I'm adding as much value to you. All right. I want to make sure you guys feel good about this. I want to make sure you not only do you see what's possible, you feel inspired, but you go and take action, because that's the best way you can pay me back, is just go and take action and show me your big 6-figure checks so I can salute and be proud of you as well as everybody in your circle will be. All right. If you see I'm going to be giving you some value, all I ask is tag a friend, share this on other platforms, let other people know your guy Elijah I is giving some value. Woo! All right. Let's get started. All right. Let's get into this. So 3 main points I'm going to be breaking down with you today. All right. So first is the profits are in the collaboration and some of the best practices. Number 2, how to find, the best deals. All right. And then 3, how to start doing bigger deals. All right. I really wish somebody sat me down earlier in my career. All right. I don't want to wait 18 years to finally close a $400,000 deal. I mean, it was technically an $800,000 deal, which I'm going to break the numbers down, but I only kept half of it, right? But I wish I learned some of these lessons I'm going to share with you so that it just kind of collapsed my learning curve, changed the way I thought, put myself in a different position so I'm able to do deals, lock in deals, and go after deals that, other people were going after it right in my same neighborhood, right in the same market, right here in Arizona. And I wish I just got to it quicker. And so, like I said, you're going to learn from my lessons so that you can go ahead and put yourself in a position to not only win this year, next year, and future years beyond. Okay. So let's first, I had many people hit me up. Elijah, this is cool. That $400,000 deal is cool. Oh, so you got it for what price? What type of deal it was? So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a deal breakdown, break this deal down for you guys, give you some details on the deal. And then I'm going to go into exactly how you are going to go after your own big deals. Okay. So let's first talk about how did I find this deal? All right. How did I find this deal? All right. So first, I was going after like I said, beforehand, I was doing all types of deals. I was going after all types of deals. I had a hard time finding quality deals. And so what I would do, I would make phone calls, just like a lot of you out there. I'm calling all types of sellers. Got a hold of one seller. He owned a grip of properties, right? So I'm hitting up my guy. I'm following up with him. He had a bunch of properties were like kind of run down. So I knew at some point he owned like 45 properties in this area. One of those properties he's going to want to sell at some point, right? So I'm talking with them. I'm calling him. He's not telling me to take him off the do not call list, but he's not quite saying I'm ready to sell this property. Okay, so as I'm talking with him, I'm asking him, hey, what other properties you have? What do you want to do with some of these properties? He's like, call me back next month. All right, call me back next month. So I'm calling my guy for almost about a year and a half, right? That's a year and a half. I'm making phone calls to him. And I finally got him on the right day. He's like, Elijah, you know what? I just got served some papers from, I had a director who was embezzling some money from me. You know what? I just want out of this deal. I got a property. You got me on the right day. I'm out here fishing with my boys, and I got served from the guy I fired. He's gonna have the nerve to sue me. So my guy the seller was pretty pissed, right? He's like, Elijah, I got something for you. I got this 16-unit property. I just want to be done with it. I want to be done. I'm done with this. Boom. So he has a 16-unit property here. And he's like, you know what? I am going to sell this property. Do you want it? What do you want to do here? Let's talk. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let's talk about it. What's going on with the property? So as I'm talking to him about this property, I end up finding out that he had some issues with it. All right. So first, I don't know if you've seen it, but you can't see all the way around the sides, but it's in the hood. All right. So first, it's in the hood. So there's some challenges. Then it's not just a regular 16 unit. It's a nonprofit. It has it's a drug recovery center. Not everybody wants to buy a drug recovery center in the hood. There's like a nonprofit component all built in with it. So there are definitely some issues with it, some serious challenges, right? So I end up thinking about, all right, so the seller, he's not giving me 16 units, especially in this market. Even a couple years ago, he's not giving me a tremendous discount on it, but he's like, if you want it, I'm willing to sell it. And you're the first one I'm talking to because you kept following up with me. Here, Elijah. So I said, cool. So he's asked, well, do you have any experiences with drug recovery centers? Now, I could have faked the front like, oh, yeah, I do these all the time. But like, no, not myself. I'm aware of them. I had other business partners in the past who utilized them. However, I have a business partner I have in mind who I bring into the table. And the reason why I said that is because I knew I had to bring in a key relationship. And I had to JV on this deal because I wanted him to feel confident with me that I can not only execute on this deal, it's going to be a million plus deal, but I want him to have confidence that I could run the program, that I can take what he built and further it. That's the only reason why he wants to do the business with me. Obviously, he liked me a little bit. He liked the tenacity, but more importantly, he wants to keep this nonprofit going. He wants to keep the drug recovery center that he sacrificed so long for. He wants to keep this running. And if he doesn't believe I can do that, why sell to me versus somebody else? So I let him know I had a key relationship. I'm going to bring him in. He owns a couple of drug recovery centers. He's good with processes. That made him feel more comfortable, made him feel like, all right, it's just not you. You have a team with you. So that allowed me to get things moved along. So why did it take me 2 years to close this deal? Well, let me tell you. So what ended up happening? Well, before I tell you, put in the comments. Why do you think it took me so long? Why do you think it took me 2 years? Why do you think it took me 2 years to actually get this deal closed? Okay. Put it in the comments. I'm curious to see what you think, what you guys think. All right, guys and gals, right? What do you think? Why do you think it took me so long to be able to finally close this one? Okay, I'll give you a second. Okay. Okay, so corporate structure. You have some of those things that wasn't just the right time for the seller. Some of those things are definitely see. So what ended up happening? Good. I'm glad. I just want to get some of you guys' thoughts on there, right? So the guy who embezzled money, well, he was a director, so the books were all over the place. So we had to spend almost a year helping get the P&Ls and get all the paperwork and all the details right. And then while we were doing that, guess what? It's a nonprofit. Because they didn't file the right filings correctly in time, and their nonprofit status ends up going out. It goes inactive. So we need to buy the property with the active status. So it took us another 5-6 months to get that situated. And then in the middle of it, what happened? Boom. COVID happens in the middle of it. And so now the owner applies for a PPP loan. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but if a company gets a PPP loan, you have to have that debt forgiveness letter before you could sell that property or that building or that business. So we had to go through the process and wait for the PPP loan to get forgiveness letter for. So over that course of time, I got the property locked up in a contract. The value just went up. You guys are in the same market I'm doing all around the country over the last 2 years. The values have exploded. Boom, 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 boom. Keeps going up, right? So I end up so I'm sitting here, I'm looking, I'm like, man, we got everything set up, everything's done. Now I like crap, I gotta find a buyer for this because, like I said, I had it locked up for 1.7 million. All right, so those are my exact numbers. I'm about to show you guys the HUD. You guys need to see the receipts. I got it. I got it. The HUD's coming for you. All right. So I signed the contract for 1.7, and I was just gonna keep it. All right, keep it as a rental, and with my partner, and we're gonna run this nonprofit company, and that was the plan. But over the course of time, the values went up so high. We're like, hold on a second. There might be a better play here. What if we find a buyer we can sell to and just lease back the building to us and we keep running the business within it? It's like, bet that's a good look. That's a player play. Now I'm able to make multiple checks on this deal because I'll get cashed out up front. And then I can negotiate a low lease, keep the nonprofit business because this drug recovery center is making 30 to 50,000 a month. So it's still generating some income. It just needs better processes, better people, the whole nine. Now, I'm about 30 days away from close the escrow, and this guy's been waiting 2 years to sell the property to me. So you have to imagine he's ready to get this deal done. And so I'm like, not everybody wants to buy, like, say, a property in the hood, a drug recovery center. That's just not. I had a lot of other buyers, talk to buyers, everybody looking for deals, but they don't want the business in there. They want to kick everybody out immediately, and that can't be a part of the deal. I got at least attempt for at least a year to try to turn this to a profit. And if it's turned into a profit, I can keep it going. So I'm struggling, can't find it. The next thing you know it, I find, I pull up every buyer. Shout out to Jared, shared by Alice. I write him and I was talking. He closed a lot of big deals too. Talked with them. He helped kind of pull some other comps. So I saw some other people who bought over 10 units in this whole area in the hood. All right, pulled some, there's only about 7 of them who paid over, 1.5 million. So I end up giving everybody a call. Talked to 3 people. One person I already knew because being in the game for 18 years, but she's out in Greece, so she wasn't going to get back to me in time. Second person, like, yeah, I'll take a look at it. Give me a week. I'm like, all right, cool. But the third person, he ended up buying the property across the street from this unit. All right, so you just bought 30 units across the street for $3 million. So I'm like, oh man, we got ourselves a player here. We got ourselves a player here. And so I skip trace him. I call him. So I call my man up. I'm like, hey, I see that you got Boardwalk. Do you want Park Place? So my guy starts laughing, like, heck yeah, I like Park Place. But how did you get this number? It's like nobody has this number. So I'm like, hey, well, we get a little aggressive when we want to follow up with our people. You're one person. I see that you are a serious buyer. I see that you paid $3 million for it. So he asked me what I want for it. I told him I want $2.5 million for it. He's like, give me 15 minutes and I'll call you back. Now my guy owns 600 properties in the Bay. So that's like close to $1 billion portfolio, right? So in the Bay, if you guys do deals in the Bay, even across the country right now, you got to be willing to take action quick as these opportunities are flying off the shelves, and then you're going to end up bidding against somebody else. My guy calls me back in 15 minutes. Like, Elijah, I'll take it. I'm like, gonna take it? What do you mean you're gonna take it? Like, don't you want to come and like inspect it? Or like, don't you want at least a 24-hour inspection period? Or at least he's like, yeah, give me 24 hours inspection period. I have my guy walk it. I'll wire you $75,000 non-refundable earnest money after the 24-hour inspection period. I'm like, you don't need to pray about it. You don't need to light a candle, nothing. He's like, no, it's good. Let's go. So next day, I showed his property manager, just walked it. Boom. He's like, yeah, this deal's done. Let's do it. So that's another lesson to understand. When you deal with these higher level deals, these are high level players. They know their numbers. It's not emotional. They're just ready to go off the numbers and get right to it. So that's exactly what happened. So we ended up getting it for 1.7, sold it for 2.5, minus a little bit of fees is basically $800,000 profit that we generated on this one deal. Hands down, the biggest profit margin deal I ever been a part of. Okay, so as you can see, 791,797 to be exact. All right. So just to be exact, I know some of y'all like, hold on, ain't 800,000. It's a little shy of 800. Okay. So you've seen the HUD. Let me show it again for you guys. All right. Bought it for 1.7, sold it for 2.5, $800,000. Me and my partner, we split on this deal. Okay. And so, And another thing I did, a part of the deal was I negotiated with them because I knew he wanted. Once he said yes that fast, I knew he would negotiate whatever terms I want. So I told him I want 9 months at a reduced lease rate, all right, so that I could have a chance, to build up some capital with a nonprofit and just implement some processes, get some better accounts, and get some better management in place, and make this produce higher. And then in 9 months, it could go back to a higher rate. And then if it's still working, use this to keep us in there as a rental. And you'll be the landlord. You're just leasing it back to us. So I negotiate that as part of the deal. So he said, cool, signed the lease, ready to go. So once I got the check for $400,000, and I used to do $10,000 deals, used to do $20,000 deals, got around bigger, better players. So I started seeing that they're doing $100,000 deals. Started doing 100,000 deals, 200,000, and then this is the biggest deal, profit margin deal to date I've ever done. All right, and so if you're ready for your 6-figure plus deal coming to you, I want you to put two in the comments. So you just put that energy out there that you're ready to have your big deal. It's cool seeing my deal, but I want you to put that energy out that your big deal is on its way too. Okay, so that's a deal breakdown I wanted you guys to see. It's an apartment complex, 16 units. It wasn't like it was a deal that anyone could just found. I was following up with them because I followed up with them, got it on the right time. Took 2 years to negotiate, 2 years to help out, add value to them. Then when it's time to get the buyer, called the buyer across the street, got it locked in, got the lease back negotiated, and now profits made. Now, like I said, you saw the checks. We cashed out the check. I got the lease back. I have another business bringing in some passive income. It's not passive. I'm actually doing some work with that. So it's not quite passive at the moment, but eventually it can be. Okay. So I just want to make sure you guys see that. And if you guys have questions about that, feel free to put those in the comments. I want to make sure you guys are able to see that. Okay. Remember, if you want to JV, if you want to JV with me on your deals, all you have to do is comment JV. If you want to learn how you can JV with me on one of your deals, like I said, I do all. At the close of 800 plus deals, I could do any type of deal, let alone just fire damage. Okay. So I want to make sure I laid that out for you guys so you're able to see it and you guys feel good about it. So now we had a chance to talk about the deal. We had a chance to kind of walk through kind of how I got there. Let's get the learning. All right. Let's do some learning together. All right. Because it's cool when I make it. I love it better when you make it. All right. Because when you make it, now you're impacting people in your circles, in your neighborhoods, in your families. And that's what we want to do. That's what the each one, teach one, each one, reach one is all about. All right. By empowering others around them so that they can duplicate their results. They can put themselves in a position to win at higher levels and consistently. Okay. So let's get into this bad boy. So let me put this up here. So the power of collaboration, the profits are in collaborations. All right. So that's the tip number one. Number one, the profits are in the collaboration. All right. So be willing. All right. I really want you to think about that. All right. All right. So the best practices, you want to JV. You want to JV on smart. Yeah, pardon me. You want to do smart JV opportunities. All right. Smart JV opportunities. What do you mean by that, Elijah? Well, first, you kind of want to make sure you work from the mindset, be willing to, make 50% of something versus 100% of nothing. All right. So why do this? Right. Like, how do you know when it's the right time to JV? That might be some question you're asking yourself. Well, is there big profits? Do you have big profit margins on these type of deals? Do you have a big opportunity? Is there 100,000? Is it 50,000? Is there a big enough check where there's enough pie on the table? If you're only doing a $2,000 margin deal, don't bring anybody into there. You don't want to split $2,000, right? But if it's a $50,000, $100,000 deal, an $800,000 profit deal, you might want to think about, hey, this might be something I want to JV with somebody on. All right, and then you want to know. So you want to know if it's big profit deal or is it really complex? So if it's a big profit deal we just talked about, but it's a very complex type of deal. Like, so you might be thinking about, so for instance, you might come across a deal and you tend to think, hey, I could just figure this out on my own. I'll go to Google and YouTube and I'll figure it out on my own so I can keep all the profits for myself. And trust me, y'all, I've been there. I know what it's like to try to figure it out yourself. And some deals I worked out, but plenty of deals I missed out on because being hard-headed, wanted to keep it all for myself. All right, didn't understand the value of bringing in somebody else who's more knowledgeable, who's more capable for you. So if you decide to JV with somebody, if that's what you decide to do, because you're looking at a deal where there might be, seller finance, you might be thinking, I'm going to JV with somebody on this type of deal. Well, when you do JV with them, like I said, you might pick somebody who you're more comfortable with, or you might do a deal with somebody who's who might be in your circle, might be one of your homies. He was driving with you to Circle K, or you found the deal, and you might want to have him be a part of the deal. Well, just because they're near you, you want to make sure that they might not. Well, at the end of the day, they might not be qualified enough to support you and help you on those deals. So this is what you need to do. Well, pardon me. What I suggest you to do. All right. What I suggest you to do. All right. So first, change your mindset. Like I talked about already up front, be willing to get 50% of something versus 100% of nothing. All right. So that's the first and foremost. Because if you think you're going to keep all the pie on every single deal, you only have a couple pieces of pie. All right. All right. So be willing to collaborate. Okay. Then what you need to do, you need to qualify your JV partner. You need to qualify your JV partner and make sure they have more experience, they have more knowledge, and or more relationships than you do. Okay. If they have more knowledge, experience, and more relationships than you do, you don't really have a good JV partner. You have a friend who's trying to figure it out with you. All right. And that ain't somebody you want to be wasting your time or that opportunity with. All right. So what you want to do, some of the things you want to ask the way you qualify your JV partner, ask them, hey, do you have experiences working with this type of deal before? All right. You can ask them, hey, do you have relationships? Do you have buyers for this type of transaction? All right. Do they have the cash or access to money capital? So if things go left, you can help make it go right. Because if I ain't got it, we both don't need to not have it. So that is going to allow you to make sure you qualify your JV partner so that you have a qualified JV partner who has more knowledge, experience, or resources to help you get this deal done that warrants it. Okay. So my example, all right? So my example, like I said, I partner with a local real estate investor. He's been in the business for several decades, super player. All right. Now, not only has he done like thousands of deals, but he already owns multiple drug recovery centers. So he already understands how to work processes. He knows how to increase profits. So he's the ideal person I thought of. If I'm going to JV with anybody, let's bring him in. Okay. Now, like I said, I could have tried to figure this out. I could have possibly lost face with the seller. By the time I got to the buyer, I didn't understand the numbers. I'm not quoting the right numbers. And now I'm getting, then there's a good chance they can see you're in over your head here. So I end up saving time, I end up saving money, and I end up not blowing this opportunity because I was willing to make 50% of 800,000 versus trying to make 100% of my own and possibly losing it out on everything. Okay. So if you're committed to at least taking that mindset of I'm okay with making 50% of something versus 100% of nothing, put 50, 50, put 50 in the comments. Put 50 in the comments so I know who those people are, who's adopted the right mindset, who's willing to say, hey, I'm okay with making 50% of something versus making 100% of nothing. All right, let me see you put those in the comments. Throw those in the comments for your guy, all right? Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So that was the point number one. All right. So now let's get into point number two for you. All right. So point number two is how do I find six-figure or multiple six-figure deals? How do I find these, Elijah? Show me where the unicorn farm is. I need to know where they're at. All right. So let's just cut to the chase real quickly. All right. Rarely will you ever just stumble into a great deal. You rarely are you ever just gonna stumble into a great deal. But what you're gonna do, you're gonna have to keep following up until that that good lead becomes a great deal. Because any of these are just leads, right? Until you convert a lead into a deal, it's still a lead. So you're not just gonna stumble into a great deal. You might stumble into a good lead, but you're going to keep following up with that person until you turn that good lead into a great deal. Does that make sense? Okay, so I want to make sure that's hit home for you guys. Okay, why? Why is that, Elijah? Well, after doing over 800 deals, less than 50 of those deals were just like lay downs where someone said, yeah, Elijah, okay, let's do the deal. All right. On the first call, this is real estate. There's very few first call deals you're going to get. Now, can it happen? Sure. But very few times. And a lot of those times, there's going to be lower margin deal, $10,000, $20,000 deals. You're doing 100,000, 200, $500,000 type of deals. Very few of those deals are going to be lay downs where they're going to say yes the first time on a first call. You're going to have to follow up with them. Okay. So you might be thinking, I'm just going to call some apartment complexes. I'm just going to call some land deals. And although you are going to put yourself in a greater probability to deal with a better lead, all right. And although that's going to good, you have to understand the fortune's still in the follow up. And timing is everything. Timing is everything. You have to keep following up with this person. By you following up with that good lead, you can make it a great deal. All right. So stop looking for just that great deal out there. Follow up with all your leads, especially the bigger margin leads, the ones with all the equity in them, the ones that have bigger paydays, bigger ARVs, bigger buying pools. Don't look at them as, oh man, this is my one apartment complex deal. Treat the small deals just like the bigger deals, but the fortune's in the follow up because timing is everything you have to do here. Okay, so on my deal, right? On my deal, when I initially talked with the seller, I'm following up with them. It was a good deal. It's a good lead. He had equity. He had a free and clear. He had lots of properties. So I kept following up with them. And it wasn't until the right timing happened. All right, it wasn't until the right timing happened. And I kept calling him, and I just happened to get him on the same day he got served while he's fishing with his boys. I talked with him for a year and a half on plenty deals, and he never brought up the 16-unit deal. So, but because I kept following up with him, I'm sure he loved my tenacity. I'm sure he appreciated the effort, but the timing was right. I got him on the same day that he got served, being sued, while he's fishing with his boys, and that was the final timing that I needed. All right, so I turned a good lead into a great deal because I kept following up. And hopefully you guys are seeing that, because that's where the real magic's at. You don't just find a good lead. You don't find a good deal. You turn a good lead into a great deal. Okay, because if I didn't, that lead could easy sat in my CRM. And just left it as most people would just tagged it not interested. I kept moving on, kept it pushing. Okay. So what do you need to do? All right. Well, what I suggest for you to do. All right. So when you get a lead that you know has good equity, has the margins, you're feeling good about it, I want you to take pride in the follow-up. All right. I'm not telling you just to, take them off don't take them off your list. But if there's lots of equity, and if they did not tell you to take them off add you to the do not call list, if they sort of like you, that you built some decent rapport, they just didn't want to sell now, please do exactly this. Do our 3x3 method. All right. Do our 3x3 method, because this 3x3 method is really going to help. Probably this 3x3 rule is going to really put you in a position to have a process to follow up with these people. All right. Because I had this process, it was natural for me to follow up with them. It took a year and a half, but I kept following up with them because I had a process. I understood what to do and how to do it, and I didn't have to deter from it. And that opportunity, your follow-ups are going to turn your bad to good leads into great deals for you. Without a doubt. You take any of the gurus out there, ask them how many first call, one call, six-figure deals they close. Any of the six-figure deals they've done, it's been multiple touches, multiple follow-ups, and that's just how the game goes. So don't fight the game. All right. Put yourself in a position to win. So what is the 3x3 rule? All right. So let me break this down for you. All right. So what you want to do on the first, you're going to call that person 3 times the first day. It doesn't have to be calm. You can call them, text them, call them. Say, hey, just want to follow up. Want to see what do you think about my offer? Hey, are you still open to selling? Nope. Cool. Then you're going to do 3 times a week for the next 3 weeks. All right. You're going to touch them 3 times a week for the next 3 weeks. Then you're going to follow up with them 3 times a month until one of you two dies. 3 times a month till one of you two dies. All right, this 3x3 formula, it works so easy. It's a simple 3x3 rule. It makes it so simple to do it. It's easy to do. It's even easier not to do. But if you kept following up with this person 3 times a month, and a year and a half later, you're gonna make $400,000, would you do it? Of course you'd do it. Why would you not, right? Like I said, why would you not put yourself in a position so that you are able to do it? 90% of the other wholesalers and investors aren't going to do that. They're going to call them 4 or 5 times, and what are they going to do? More data, more leads, to keep adding on, more fish on top, more fish on top. Versus learning how to cook up that fish, flip the fish around, fillet the fish. You know what I'm saying? Fry the fish, steam the fish, touch that lead as many times as necessary, 3 times a month until one of you two dies. So if you are committed to applying that follow-up formula, we gave you that 3x3 formula. I just want you to put 3 in the comments. Put 3 in the comments, so I know that you're committed to applying this with the exact. These are the exact tips that I learned. These are the exact points that I applied that manifest and help create this deal. And I wanted to give you guys the tools and techniques so you could do this for yourself. Okay. So now that you're feeling good, so now you understand that. Now the third and final tip here, my third and final point here. All right. And this, I'm telling you, this is the number one thing that will stop you from doing bigger deals. Hands down. This is the number one thing that stopped me, that will stop you, that stopped countless of other people from doing bigger deals. What do you think it is? Throw it in the comments. What do you think it is? What do you think will stop you? Definitely stop me, and stop hundreds of thousands of other people from closing bigger deals. What do you think it is? Throw it in the comments. Let's see what you guys got. Okay. So what it is, the number one thing, playing small and not believing in yourself. Think about that. Playing small. Just simply not believing in yourself, not believing it's possible. Not somebody in your market, not somebody who looks like you, not somebody with your background, not somebody with your parents, not somebody with this economy we're in, not somebody in the oversaturated market. All the lies we tell ourselves so we can keep playing small. I've been there. I know what it feels like. And you have to understand. So why is that? Well, most investors, they start off, you close a $5,000, $10,000 deal, and then you start getting consistency. And as you start getting consistency, you become content, and you easily become satisfied. And then so you don't think you can play any bigger than that. So you stay right at that level. So you stay playing small because you think that if you start playing big, that you're gonna now mess up, you're gonna look like a fool, other people gonna laugh at you, but then you can end up losing out on all the small deals that you missed out on. Yeah, that's exactly it. It happens. You got at least, well, if I just keep focused on the deals I have now, at least I won't miss out on any of the bigger deals, and probably I won't miss out on my small deals, and at least can stay in my comfort zone. I say it's warm, it's soft. My comfort zone. I don't want to leave here. And that's why I want you guys to really see how important it is for you to be able to play bigger. And if you start playing bigger, thinking bigger, feeling bigger, that's what you start attracting. So my deal, right? I started seeing people, my guys, shout out to Alex, shout out to All In family, shout out to, a lot, my Elite X family. A lot of people I saw around me started closing bigger deals. And as they started closing bigger deals, I had evidence of what happens. I looked at how they was thinking. They thought bigger. They went after bigger deals. They had bigger talks. They took bigger shots. And when you step away from layups, you step away from doing free throws, start shooting bigger shots. You start making bigger shots. You start having confidence. Hey, I can hit one of these too. And after And after I started thinking bigger about myself, feeling better about myself, going after bigger deals, put on what you call miracle territory, going after six-figure deals, going after million-plus property deals, and feeling okay that, hey, I'm able to do it. And all it takes is one yes. One yes. And after you start thinking about, hey, can I do these bigger deals? Boom, I end up hitting home runs. But remember, you can't hit the ball if you're not swinging the bat. And you can't swing the bat if you're still in the bleachers doing small deals because you're comfortable there and you don't want to rock the boat. You just want to stay where you're at. And that's fine. If that's what you want to do, hey, God bless you, do that. But for the rest of us who want to do big deals, who wants to get big checks, who wants to work smarter, not always harder, then this is what you need to do. All right. This is what's gonna help, it's gonna pay off way, 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 way longer and way harder by you focusing on, hey, let me do these 3 tips, these 3 points, and you're gonna put yourself in a position to win. So let's recap. Let's recap these here. Okay. So first, remember the profits in the collaboration. Remember we talked a little bit about that. The profits in the collaboration. Make sure you're JVing with people. Change that mindset, right? Where it's okay. I gotta get 50% of something versus 50% of nothing. Make sure you qualify the person you're JVing with. Have you done deals before? You have more resources. Do you have relationships or capital that this deal goes left? You can help make it go right. If they don't have that, don't JV with those type of people. Okay. Then remember how to find six-figure deals or multiple six-figure deals. Don't just go don't go over there just to look for deals. All right. You have to understand you have a good lead, but the fortune's in the follow-up, and it's a follow-up that turns a good lead into a great deal. It's the follow-up. It's the follow-up. It's a follow-up that makes great deals happen. That is where the traction happens. Do not think you always need more and more leads. Follow up with what you have. How to follow up? Remember the 3x3 rule. Simple 3x3 rule is going to put you in a position so that you're able to close deals quicker, faster, more consistently. And now you have a process to follow up. Remember the process? 3 times for the first week, 3 times a week for the next 3 weeks, and then 3 times a month until one U2 dies. All right. If they haven't told you to take me off the list, guess what? They like you. They should have told you to take off the list 4 or 5 months ago. All right. But they didn't. So if they didn't do that, why stop? Why not give them the opportunity to say, you know what? Yeah, this one property, the tenant just left. You know, the AC just went out. You know, the roof just collapsed in. I got one for you. All right. And then last but not least, stop playing small. Stop not believing in yourself. Play bigger. Think bigger. Be willing to play. And as you play bigger and you think bigger, you're going to start noticing you could do bigger deals at a way bigger level. All right. So I broke down my deal. I gave you 3 points. If I just knew these early, I promise you, I've been doing $300,000-$400,000 deals, net profit deals, many years ago. It wouldn't be 18 years I'm doing these deals. All right. I've been doing that in my 7th and 5th and 6th year. All right. So once again, if you guys got some value, today, please like, share, tag a friend. Let them know your boy Elijah I is giving real value, closing real deals, and help empower you to close your next 6-figure deal so that you're over there and you're sharing and adding value to them as you continue to. For those of you who do want to JV with me, all right? If you want to JV with me, send me, like I said, you can send me a DM or just send me JV the opportunities. So just put in DM JV, DM me opportunities. I'll send you a link so you can fill it out. Like, sure, it's fire damage, but I'll look at any of your deals. I have to close over 800 deals. Only 200 of those were fire damage. So I can close any type of deal you have. Let's look on it and see let's look at those opportunities and see how we can work together. And so that I can help you get closer to closing your next 6-figure deal. What the goal here is to put people in a position to win. I want you to see what's possible. So any questions you have, I'm going to go back. I'm going to look at your questions now before I go over, before we wrap up here. Any questions or challenges you guys have, put them in the comments. We got about 10, 15 more minutes. I want to answer any questions you guys have. Feel free to shoot them out and just drop them in the comments, and I'm going to get the answer in them. So let me see. He said, when a home is severely burned, do you offer land value? When we're talking about fire damage deals, yeah, I like to be between 5 to 25% of ARV. If it's in a decent market where meaning where the property values are over 250,000. If there isn't a lot of comps, then try to offer about 50% of tax assessed land value. You can be around 50% of tax land value, you're gonna win. All right, that's a pretty good one. Good rule of thumb to work from. All right. Let's see. Can you go to the fire department to get a list of burned homes? Nope, sorry, that's just not really a thing. They won't let you do that. They redact a lot of the information out there. They don't give you a lot of the full addresses. So, like I said, there are some other sources. If you're in the fire damage profit group, there's lots of trainings we provided about how to find fire damage deals. Make sure you take advantage of those, look at those, but start letting people know, hey, you buy fire damage properties, and just like how I'm telling you to JV collab with other people. Let them know you're partner with them and help them fire and close their deals because once again, that's a lead source. Just not too many people work on. Go after. All right, here's another good question here. How do you determine the ARV of apartment complex? All right, so I don't want to go too granular on you guys here, but I'm going to give you a simple kind of ballpark formula. Any other questions you guys have, drop them in the comments. Like I said, I'm going to answer any of your questions you have before you get out of here. All right, so what you want to do, a simple way to do it, you want to take the income. So you might get a one unit might be able to rent out for, let's keep numbers simple, $500 a month. All right. And then so let's say that there is 10 units there. So 500 a month times 10 units is what? It's $5,000, right? So now I have what's called gross income of $5,000 a month. So this unit could produce 5,000 out of all 10 units at 500 a month. What you're able to do, you're able to make $5,000 a month per month for all 10 units. Now you want to times that by 12 months, okay? Because now you want to get what's called the gross rents for the year. All right, so that's 60,000. So $60,000 is what the maximum, if it's rented out, the gross amount of rents that this 10 units can make for 1 year. Then you want to reduce what's called expense ratio out of it. So you take it and you times 60,000 times I say do 65. Do 65%. Why? Because you're going to reduce about 35% on average, sometimes a lot higher. But you can take out 35% of the gross income because you want to account for taxes, insurance, maintenance, repairs, less vacancies, and reserves. And so you want to take about 35% of that out of the gross income, and that leaves you your net operating income, which is your NOI. So that's $39,000 that's left over for you. So out of that 39,000, that with this, if this property is all fixed up, it's all producing income after I take out my expenses for just without any mortgage, assuming I'm paying cash for this. Now I can make $39,000 a year. That's how much it could generate income for me. Okay. So now if I take 39,000, now this varies the expense ratio varies state to state. Some people doing 50%, they take off out of the rents. Some people only take 20% out. What state you are varies. And then what cap rate, because your cap rate divided by your net operating income gives you the actual ARV, the after repair value of your multi-unit. All right. So if I say, so in Arizona, most people at least want to make at least a 6% cap rate. So I'm going to take that $39,000. I'm going to divide it by 6%. And that's going to give me a $650,000. $650,000 after repair value number. And so that's how you want to come. And that's how you break down ARV on an apartment complex. You just take that same concept. If it's 100 units or a duplex, same process works. You want to look at the ARV. You want to look at the income per unit times 12 months. Take out your expense ratio divided by the cap rate. That's how you get your number. Okay. So a couple other questions, and we'll wrap up out of here. A couple other questions. How many touches in a year So I'm, like I said, if I'm doing 3 times a month until one of you two dies, what's that? 36 times? That's 36. 3 times 12. That's 36 times touches. You should be touching that lead. I had one lead I touched for almost 2.5 years to make $27,000 on it. Okay, so just understand the fortunes in the follow up. If you are willing to follow up more than your competitor, you're going to be the last one standing. You're going to get those leads. You're going to get those opportunities. All right. So I want to make sure that I'll leave that with you guys. Please make sure you guys go back. Remember those 3 points. You want to make sure you guys see those. You guys are aware of it. You feel good about it. The more you apply it, it's just the biggest thing is, like I said, make sure you feel comfortable going after these deals. The profits and the collaboration. So if you want to JV with me, this is your chance to JV with me. JV with other people. Just make sure you qualify them. Make sure, please, just change that mindset we talked about. 50% of something is better than 50% of nothing. All right. Remember, you're not gonna find a great deal. You're gonna find a good lead, and the follow-up is gonna it's gonna turn into a great deal. And then at the end of the day, please play big, believe in yourself. You got this. All right. Any way I can help add value to you guys, feel free to reach out to your guy, Elijah. I appreciate you guys locking in. I wanted to make sure that I be respectful of all your guys' time. Please share this, like this, share this to other people. If you saw the value, if you feel inspired, let other people know what you liked about it. Reach out to me. Let me know what you liked about it. I look forward to adding more value to you guys in the future. Make sure if you're not a part of the Fire Damage Profit Facebook group, please make sure you join it. If you are in this group and you're already in the community, make sure you JV and network with other people. The more you bless other people, the more guaranteed blessing comes back to you. With that being said, it's your guy, Elijah I. Each one teach one, each one reach one. Guard your way today. Be a blessing to someone, y'all. Salute. Bye.